Hello there, welcome back to buildqueue. If you followed along with part 1 of this series, Unity and Jenkins should already be installed and your Jenkins service should be running in the background. Now that our environment is ready, we need a test project that we can use for this. And just a disclaimer, if you already have your own project that you would like to use for this series instead of using our test project, you can go ahead and do so. If you already have source control management set up on your project, you're probably not going to really need to follow along with this video. You can go ahead and safely skip to part 3. We're not going to be setting up any of our build scripts within this video. There are two major goals that we want to accomplish by the end of this video. The first goal is we want to get our repository set up on Gitlab, and the second goal is we want to set up our test project. Let's go ahead and set up our repository. So you're going to open up your browser, go to gitlab.com. You are going to select the sign in button. If you do not have an account already, you'll need to create one. You'll just select register now. I already have an account, so I'm just going to sign in with my information. After you have signed in, you should be redirected to a project space. I already have some old projects here, just ignore those. You are going to select new project, create a blank project. You need to add a project name. You'll then set the visibility level. If you want it to be a private repository, select private. If you want it to be a public repository, select public. Under project configuration, I don't think that we necessarily need a README for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and uncheck this and then select create project. Your blank repository has been created, but we cannot clone it quite yet. We need to create our SSH keys, and then we need to add them to our user account. In order to do this, you need to select your icon. You're going to need to select preferences. On the menu on the left-hand side, you need to select SSH keys. You'll need to add a new key. If you don't have SSH keys installed already on your PC, select learn more. Go and scroll down a bit. We'll need this line right here. I typically use RSA. You need to open the search bar in the lower left-hand corner. You need to search for git bash. After you have opened up git bash, you need to paste in the prompt. Preferably, you're going to want to change the comment to your email. Choose where you want to save. I want to save in the default location. I'm going to overwrite existing SSH keys that I have. Don't need a passphrase. And our SSH keys have been created. Now we need to port them to our GitLab account. To find the location of your SSH keys, it's here in the log. See users, your username, SSH, and then ID RSA pub. Let's go ahead and navigate to this space within File Explorer. My SSH key will be located under C, under users, under the first one here. If you cannot find the directory, it may be a hidden file. So if you are on Windows 11, you are going to want to select View, go down to Show, and then make sure that Hidden Items is checked. Open up .ssh, and then you're going to want to find your public key. Don't worry about your private key, just copy the information from your public key. You're going to right-click this, edit in Notepad, copy your key, come back to GitLab, paste your key in, and then you're going to want to set the expiration date. If you don't want one, then you can just clear this out, and then you select Add Key. We have now imported our SSH keys. The next thing that we want to do is we want to set some global Git configurations. So what we want to do is we want to navigate to our project. After you've navigated to your project, there are two tabs here. One says local, one says global. Select global, and you're going to want to copy these two lines right here. Open up git bash again and paste these two lines in. Press enter, and your global Git settings have been set up. Now we are going to clone this empty repository. So in the upper right hand corner here, select code, clone with SSH, copy this. Within File Explorer, go ahead and find a place that you want to clone your repository to. You are then going to right click, open git bash here. If you don't see this on Windows 11, there will probably be an option to show more options, and git bash should be there. After git bash is open, you are going to type git clone and then paste in your URL. You are then going to press enter, and now we have our empty repository. Now we finally get to move on to Unity. Go ahead and open Unity Hub. Ensure that you are signed in and that you have an active license. If you do not have an account or a license, please go to the Unity website and go ahead and create an account real quick. You are going to select new project. You're going to name your project. I named mine the same name as I named my repo. I'm changing the location to my repository. For simplicity, I'm leaving this as a 3D project, and then you select create project. It may take a few minutes before your project opens. My base project has opened. The next thing that I want to do is I want to open up a window. I want to go to the asset store because, again, we're going to save time with this. We are going to use some assets that already exist on the asset store. Select search online. From here, go to the search bar. you're going to search for Rainbow Jump. The first option here is Rainbow Jump and it's free. Select Open in Unity, open Unity Editor. This will open the package manager. Wait for everything to start loading. You are going to select download or re-download in my case. After everything's downloaded, you're going to want to import. This will import it into your project. Select import again. A box going over the import information will pop up. You will select next. You'll select import. While we are in the package manager, the next thing that we need to install, we need to go to packages and project, select the Unity registry, select 2D sprite and install. It may take a minute for this to install, but this is needed for these assets that we just imported. You can now close out of the package manager. We don't need it anymore. Navigate over to assets within the project view. Go ahead and open up Rainbow Jump, find scenes, and go ahead and select main. After we have selected main, you're going to open file. You're going to open build settings. Ensure that this scene that we just opened appears first here. If it appears first, go ahead and close out. So this is a rather simple game. If you go into play, it's just a ball. You just click on the screen and you try not to hit the obstacles. This should work for basically any platform. Just keep going and then game over. For this video, we're not going to necessarily add too much more content to this. We are saving the build script for the next part. The next thing that we want to do before we add everything to our repository is we want to add a gitignore file. After we add a gitignore file, then we will push all of our work up to our repository. Within File Explorer, you want to navigate to your project. You want to open up your project where you can see the assets and the packages and the project settings folders. Within here, you want to right click, add new text document. Make sure that you have configured this to where you can write your own extensions here at the end, like how this one is .txt. I'm going to change this one to .gitignore. You are then going to want to open this in Notepad. So right click, edit it in Notepad. When your gitignore file opens, you're going to want to put these different directories in here. There's a lot more that you can add to a gitignore, but these are the ones that contain the most fluff. You are then going to save and then you're going to close. And now everything is ready. We can go ahead and start publishing to our repository. So from anywhere inside of the project, you're going to right click, open git bash. You are going to type in git stage dot. This will stage all of your files, getting them ready for a commit. We are then going to commit everything. To do that, you type in git commit -m, and then inside of quotes, you put your commit message. I just wrote this commit adds the test project we'll be using for the Jenkins Unity course. Press enter. After everything has been committed, we are ready to push. Type in git push. You're going to want to copy this here. Git push set upstream origin dev. You're going to want to paste that in. Then you're going to press enter again, and now all of our work has been saved to our repository. Just very quick to verify that our work is there, you are going to want to open your browser. You are going to want to refresh GitLab within your project, and you'll notice that there is now a dev branch here. Select the first option here, and here's our Unity assets. Thank you very much for bearing with me as we set up our GitLab account and set up our project, and that will conclude part 2 of this course. In part 3, we will be creating our build scripts that will be used by Jenkins.